Good evening from Benalla. I'm Joel Crean and this is Weeknights. It's great to have your company on this Tuesday. We've got a lot to get through, including our chat with new Campaspe Shire Mayor Kevin Simpson. But we're also spending some time in the Shepparton region where the council has launched a new program to clean graffiti from businesses and private properties. And other locals doing their bit for the environment by making the switch to solar power at home. And of course, we're off to Echuca shortly for a look at the work being done as part of the new hospital redevelopment. But right now, let's check local headlines for you Tuesday. Here's Julie Snook.
Thank you, Joel. In news today, GV Health has again posted a deficit for the third year in a row. The organisation is $8.5 million in the red, according to the 2010-2011 annual report. It's one of 30 hospitals which the state government has acknowledged needs more funding. We won't know if Shepparton will be included as a stop on the proposed high-speed rail network until next year. Transport Minister Anthony Albanese says while both Shepparton and Albury have been listed as potential stops, the final list won't be made public until after a first-stage study is complete mid-next year. And the 22-year-old man from Shepparton who led police on a pursuit through the region earlier this year faced court today. Police followed the man at speeds of up to 180 k's an hour through Shepparton and up to Echuca in October. He was later charged with resisting arrest and assaulting police. Stay with us, I'll have more headlines for you soon.
It's one of the biggest projects seen in Echuca in some time, the $65.5 million brand new hospital. Both state and federal governments have chipped in, and now the work has begun.
Works are officially underway at Echuca Regional Health for a new state-of-the-art hospital which will see capacity expand by 66%.
What's ahead of us is a redevelopment that's going to change this hospital significantly for the benefit of the community.
The hospital is in desperate need of an overhaul.
And why we need to expand our footprint is because this hospital is going to be 66% bigger in bed numbers. We're going from 68 to 113 acute hospital beds in this new hospital. In addition to that, our emergency department, which currently has 7 treatment cubicles, the new department will have 23 treatment cubicles.
Both state and federal governments have chipped in to fund the redevelopment, which will take over a whole new block as well as the existing one.
Well, the current facilities are well past their use-by date. The state and federal governments have accepted that and allocated $65.6 million to rebuild it.
The current state of the hospital is lagging, with facilities that are inadequate to house the sick and injured of Echuca and surrounding areas.
For instance, our emergency department, where we treat 16,000 presentations a year, was using a storeroom that was built 120 years ago.
And the emergency department isn't the only area that needs work.
Our wards, we only have 4 en-suites with our 68 beds at the moment. We can't move beds safely at the moment between rooms, and the privacy and dignity of the patients is compromised. So there's a whole range of deficiencies in our current facilities.
Once all the houses are demolished from High Street, you'll be able to see through to the old main block, which is the Heritage Vista, and you'll be able to see the new hospital from the car park, which means you'll be able to park your car. It'll be very clear where you've got to walk to, and the entrances will all be off Service Street.
Echuca is growing at a rapid speed, and hospital CEO Michael Delahunty wants to keep up with the region's pace.
Well, I think it reflects the inadequacy of the current facilities, the rapid growth of our community, which also takes in Moama. 20% of our admissions, 1 in 5, have New South Wales postcodes. So this health service not only services a large section of northern Victoria, but also a community over the river in New South Wales.
The early works package will start in February and be completed by around June, July next year. And then in August we'll start our main package of works, and that'll run through to 2015.
Graffiti, it's art to some, but to others it's simply an annoyance. And while designated murals give graffiti artists a place to show off their stuff, it's the pointless tagging which creates most work for council. It's this tagging which has prompted a new initiative in the Greater Shepparton region to clean up our streets. And our reporter Ashley Gardner has the story.
We see it right across town. Graffiti continues to cause headaches for property owners and local businesses. But now the Wipeout graffiti trailer is on the move, and Greater Shepparton City Council's Greg Sidebottom says it'll help tackle local problem spots.
Yes, well, Council's very committed to try to clean up Shepparton because it's a known fact that graffiti and such does make people feel a little bit unsafe in their community environment. So that's the driving force behind it.
Wipeout project coordinator Sue Whitcomb says they're trying to spread the word that the trailer is on offer for locals to use.
We got it through a government grant, through a state government grant, and we've had it since the end of June this year. And we've only really just started to promote it, and we've sent out letters to all the traders groups and all the community groups and sporting groups in town, and tried to get them to come and do our induction and take the trailer to get graffiti off their private property.
She says it's vital the community gets behind the cause.
We want to clean up the whole town, and we can only get it off council property. So if we encourage people to get it, if we give them a way to get it off their own property, they can help us clean up the whole town.
The trailer contains plenty of equipment to help eliminate the street art.
It includes all the safety gear and all the chemicals, plus a state-of-the-art generator, pressure washer. It has a compressor, so that if you can't get it off with the chemicals, you can remove it you can paint over it with the compressor using paint.
Sue says it's easy to get involved.
But they just call council, ask about the Wipeout project, and they'll be put in touch with Jeff, and he'll run you through a short induction process, and you learn about the safety aspects, which makes us comply with all the WorkSafe requirements.
The Wipeout graffiti trailer isn't the only project on the go.
Council also has other initiatives such as paint vouchers, $50 paint vouchers available for people if they come in and report graffiti on their own property. They come in and get a $50 paint voucher, go to four paint shops here in Shepparton that have supported the project, and pick up some paint and go and paint over the graffiti themselves.
And there's plenty of other projects in the pipeline.
And there are other phases to come from this, and we're actually going to probably recognise the talents of some of these people that have actually done the work, because some of them are very talented artists, and strange as that may sound, but they are, and we may be using their talent to actually beautify the township over the coming years.
We'll be back with lots more on the other side of this break. Stay with us.
We chat to Campaspe Shire Mayor Kevin Simpson next.
And that's one issue that I think I would like to tackle head on.
And Shepparton leads the way as new climate research shows more Australians are turning to solar power.
The general community embracing this move towards a low carbon future.
That's coming up when Weeknights returns.
Kevin Simpson has taken over as Mayor of the Campaspe Shire, so we thought it would be fitting to catch up with him and find out what the new leader's goals, passions and priorities are for his term of local government.
It's the end of an era for Campaspe Mayor Neil Pankhurst as Councillor and Mayor-elect Kevin Simpson prepares to ascend the throne.
And at the statutory meeting on December the 6th, that's when the changeover actually happens. And at that meeting it's a little bit ceremonial. We get a chance to make a speech about my aspirations for the next 11 months.
Communication is a key element that Kevin wants to work on during his term as Mayor.
I'd like to focus on communication for the year. It's a really tough gig that local government has, and to communicate effectively with 40-odd thousand residents across 4,500 square kilometres is a really big ask.
Kevin believes the majority of issues the council faces is due to a lack of communication. For example, many Campaspe residents believe they are neglected compared to Echuca.
And that's one issue that I think I would like to tackle head on. If you go to any town but Echuca, they'll say, oh, Echuca gets everything. Talk to the residents of Echuca and they think that we give everything to everyone else. Somewhere in between is probably the truth.
The Shire has already stepped up communication by starting its own Facebook page.
It comes back to communication. If we're not actually letting people know effectively what's happening, what are we putting out there that are making people think that? I just think there's a lack of understanding of what the Shire does and how they do it.
As Neil's successor, Kevin had only wishes for the now former mayor.
Neil has been a fabulous mayor. I've got big shoes to step into. All of the mayors before that I've served under for the last 6 years as a councillor have been excellent, all four of them. I guess there's a bit of pressure on me there because they've just done a fantastic job. They've all stepped up to the plate and they're all great people.
Shep is known as the Solar City, but it's now becoming the Solar Power City with more and more people turning to green technology to power their homes. Emily Whittam explains.
Shepparton is shining when it comes to the installation of solar panels, with a federal government report revealing we are fast becoming a solar-powered city.
Shepparton has the highest per capita installation of solar panels in Victoria. 1 in 11 residents have put solar panels on their roofs.
GV Community Energy in Murchison are beaming with the result as their contribution pays off.
Over 75% of those installations were installed through GV Community Energy. It's been a fantastic response, a product of the community working together through support from local government, support from Sustainability Victoria, and the general community embracing this move towards a low-carbon future.
CEO Jeff Lodge says the federal government's solar panel rebate, which was introduced earlier this year, has made a huge difference to the number of households and businesses now powering off solar energy.
The subsidies that have been provided from both the federal and state governments have made a significant difference in people moving towards this technology.
He says some people are more willing to help reduce their carbon footprint with a bit of financial help.
The rebates have reduced the purchase price, and the tariffs introduced by the state government have also made it very cost effective and encouraged people to change their pattern of energy use in order to maximise the amount of electricity that is exported to the grid.
Solar energy has many benefits.
The benefits of solar energy is it is a relatively cheap way of generating electricity. Importantly, it's about generating electricity during the peak demand.
Jeff says the reason electricity prices have skyrocketed in the last 3 to 5 years is that the network is under stress due to demand.
Solar power provides a relief to that stress. This is why the government is stepping in and providing subsidies. It is cost effective for them to do that, and those who participate in the scheme are benefiting financially.
This is Weeknights. We're in Vanilla and we'll be back with more shortly.
More news later in the show, but next we check the top 10 things to do this weekend. And Peter Cardamone is back at Deakin Reserve for Tuesday Sport. You're watching Weeknights right here on Southern Cross 10.
Let's get a look at what's happening across the valleys this weekend. Here's Emily's top 10.
Hey guys, Emily here out the front of the Aussie Hotel on this Tuesday with the top 10 things to do this weekend. Nice and early, so you can plan your weekend well in advance. And I can hear sleigh bells as Christmas fast approaches, bringing with it a wave of festive events to get you raring to go. This weekend kicks off with the GV Health Foundation Tree Fest Drinks, Party and Christmas Tree Menders Auction, where they will be auctioning off Christmas trees to raise money that will go back into the oncology unit, which is now up and running. It starts Friday night at 6:30 p.m. and tickets are $50, every cent of which goes to the great cause. And a rather quiet Saturday as we gear up for a huge Sunday this weekend. The Toolamba Lions will host its Twilight Christmas Festival at Wren Street in Toolamba. There'll be great country live music, talent competitions and market stalls, to name a few things. And it will all kick off at 4 p.m. in the evening. And train up for the Yarrawonga Fun Mini Triathlon on Sunday morning, starting at 8:30 a.m. at the Rowing Club on Botts Road. Entrants can choose 1, 2 or 3 activities consisting of a 200-metre swim, a 14-kilometre bike ride and 5.2-kilometre run or a 3-kilometre fun run. There'll be plenty for onlookers to do with face painting, coffee and a barbecue. And another Christmas event, Carols by Candlelight at the Shelter on John Gray Oval in Mooroopna, will start at 6 p.m. There'll be a barbecue, face painting, carols performed by local artists such as Reg Paul, Leona Gibbs and Mooroopna Secondary Band and Choir. It will be a great way to spend your weekend and get you in the festive mood. Well, that's all from me for the top 10 things to do this weekend out the front of the Aussie Hotel on this Tuesday. I'll be back on Friday for a recap. Until then, have a great and merry week.
With Weeknight Sport for your Tuesday, here's Peter Cardamone.
Weeknight Sports Report brought to you by Darryl Tweed Volkswagen and the all-new Tiguan from $32,990 drive away.
Well, one of the stars of SCA cricket, he needs no introduction in the Goulburn Valley. Jed Wright, the boy from Katandra, he's the captain of the Eagles, but he's also captain of the Shepparton Cricket Association. He's been good enough to join us on Weeknights. Jed, welcome.
Thanks, Carter. It's good to be here.
Now, tell me, you guys are sitting on the bottom, but I don't think you're going that bad. You probably lack a bowler or two, but not a great performance on the weekend. It was a winnable position, 235, and you guys get rolled in the end.
Yeah, no, it was a disappointing day, but there's a few positives come out of it. A couple of our young fellas bowled pretty well, so hopefully on to next week and have a win there.
Well, speaking about next week, you play at home against Tatura, which is going to be a big game because they're up and coming, and Peter Watt, 120 on the weekend. Big performance from the veteran. Of course, he's the big wicket next week, isn't he?
Yeah, no, Watty's been a good batsman for a long time, so you snare his wicket early and you never know. It's sort of make or break for our season next week.
Can I ask a couple of questions in regards to other players in the association? Paul Travascus, 166 not out. Brent Mathers, 152 not out. They're the big scores from 2011 and 12. When are we going to see a big score from you?
Hopefully next week. We'll see. I'm starting to get a bit of form, so just got to bat longer and then the runs will come.
Is it a year where the bat's dominated, where the ball hasn't this year?
Yeah, I think so. I reckon maybe the bowling depth isn't quite there, or the wickets are just too flat and it's too easy to make runs, but there's still good bowlers. I think the batsmen are just getting on top.
Jetta, let's mention a couple of those young guns from the Katandra Eagles. Who are they coming through?
We've got Paul Fry, Ben Cleary and Cody Irvine are all in the rep cricket squad. So, they're ones that we're looking forward to, making runs. It might not be this year, but, as long as they're improving, there's good things to come.
Well, let's have a look at the stars from round 6 of SCA cricket and the guys who are in total control of the bat. These are the big run scorers and the winners so far of the batting averages for 2011 and 12. Brent Mathers, 431 runs. He averages 107, the boy from Old Students. Paul Newman, also from Old Students. He's made 346 runs and he's averaging 57, Mr. Consistent. Paul Travascus, averaging 79 with 318 runs, thanks to his 166 not out on the weekend. Peter Watt, 235 runs and averaging 47. He needs also another big score against Katandra this week. And Glenn Hart, averaging 109, and he's made 218 runs so far in 2011 and 12. Jetta, good luck against Tatura on the weekend. I know you'll go head-to-head with Brian Doyle. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, no, it should be good. We always have some good battles out there, so it'll be another good game.
So there you have it, Jed Wright, captain of Katandra and also captain of the SCA. And we've got all the sport covered right here on Weeknights.
Jordan returns after the break and he's back on the streets. We're catching up with Jordan from 96.9 Star FM now. He's been back on the streets and he's talking to you.
This year, Star FM is creating its very own Christmas tradition, Fanta Claus. But that's what's in our house this Christmas. What about yours? What's your Christmas tradition? Let's go find out.
Every single year without fail, we have Christmas as a family. This is my brothers and sisters. And we eat the food that my mother and father used to make on Christmas Day.
Oh, that's nice. So every single year?
Every single year.
I don't know, just follow what the family does, really. Barbecues, yeah.
Is that what Christmas Day is, barbecue for you guys?
Yeah, just barbecue, lots of salads, yeah. Nothing too hot, just, yeah, no veggies. Yeah.
Always got me ham.
Any turkey?
No, not necessarily.
Every single Christmas we meet with the family and have lunch and dinner.
Oh, that sounds nice. Are you usually the cook?
No, I haven't been lately. I've retired from that. My daughter-in-laws do the cooking.
Oh, that's good, isn't it? And do they try and impress you, being the daughters-in-law?
Very much so.
And do they impress you?
They do, yes. And I'm not taking the job off them.
On Christmas Day, I'll go down to my parents' house and have Christmas lunch.
To eat their food.
Yeah.
I love that tradition.
We have like a big feed and a few drinks and then we have a sleep. Sleep, eh?
So that's the Christmas tradition, sleepers.
Yeah, sleeping.
We just want to know, Santa, what is your Christmas tradition? What do you do every single year?
Give away toys.
I know. I just thought to talk to Santa. Oh, Santa.
And you want to know what Rudolph does?
Yes, what does Rudolph do?
Well, it only happens once a year, and only
Yeah.
1 year on Christmas Eve.
What does he do?
His nose goes red.
Ah,
and you know why it does that?
Why?
Because I feed him carrots. You've got to leave a carrot out for Rudolph.
Got to leave a carrot out. Okay, thank you, Santa. Bye, Santa.
And of course you can tune in to Jordan and Steph on 96.9 Star FM for breakfast every morning from 5:30. Now we're tuning in to Julie at the news desk.
Thanks again, Joel. The Murray-Darling Basin Authority's plan might not be popular with everyone, but some local companies say it's also up to them to reduce water usage. SPC Ardmona told Stock and Land the latest plan wasn't unmanageable, as it was continually looking to cut water use. Nurses are again rallying this afternoon as they continue their battle with the state government. The Nursing Federation is calling for better nurse-to-patient ratios and improved pay. A&F spokesperson Lisa Fitzpatrick says regional hospitals like GV Health are particularly vulnerable. And a boost for the Shepparton Search and Rescue team with the delivery of a new underwater sonar device. The $7,500 tool will help with search efforts in the Goulburn and Murray Rivers and was donated by the Lions Club. That wraps it up from the news desk for tonight. Let's take a look at those local weather details. Here's tonight's McDonald's Weather Whiz Kid.
Hi, I'm Charlie. I'm in grade 4 at Benalla West Primary School. I'm today's Weather Whiz Kid, and here is the weather.
Starting with a look at the satellite image now, and a high pressure system over Tasmania will move slowly eastwards during today and tomorrow. The high will move across the southern Tasman Sea on Thursday as a low pressure trough develops over South Australia. The low pressure trough will approach Western Victoria later on Friday. Checking what happened weather-wise across the region today, it was a partly cloudy day with the top of 25 for both Albury and Melbourne. Some cloud cover for Shepparton where it hit 27, sunshine and 26 the high for Bendigo. Partly cloudy and 27 for Denny and Echuca, sunny skies and a top of 26 in both Benalla and Seymour. Tomorrow we'll have a few clouds about, partly cloudy and 27 for Albury and Melbourne. Shepparton is aiming for a high 29, while Bendigo should reach about 28 degrees. Partly cloudy and 29 for Denny and Echuca, 28 the expected top for both Benalla and Seymour. The sunrise will be at 6 to 6 tomorrow morning with the sun setting at around 8:25 in the evening. Looking at 2 to 3 day forecast now, and it looks like we'll have mostly fine conditions right across the board until Friday when the wet weather sets in. In Shepparton tomorrow and Thursday we can expect partly cloudy conditions and a top of 29, rain and 27 for your Friday. A similar story for Benalla, 28 tomorrow and Thursday, rain and 26 Friday. Echuca is heading towards 29 tomorrow, 30 the high Thursday, wet and 28 Friday. And in Melbourne, partly cloudy skies for 27 tomorrow, 29 the high Thursday, and rain arriving on Friday for a top of 27.
That was the weather. I'd like to say hello to my teacher, Mr. Winkler, and my family.
That is it from the Weeknights team from outside the Benalla Library on this Tuesday. The project is next. I'm Joel Crean. See you tomorrow night.